to you around the peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp. Homecomings are always a celebrated occasion. Senior Airman Taylor West will show you a homecoming that isn't as joyous, but just as impactful.
Troops come together to send home soldiers who have been missing in action since the Korean War. 17 fallen warriors are recognized and given their proper respects as they finally get to go home.
This nation has become what the heroism of its defenders, like these that lay before us, have made her. And it's our solemn duty to properly recognize their sacrifice and to fulfill our commitment to return their remains to a proper burial in their homeland.
15 of these soldiers are from the Republic of Korea and 2 are from the United Nations Command. It's the hope of all participants that one day, all missing in action warriors will return home. Senior Airman Taylor West, Yongsan, Korea.
There are over 7,800 American soldiers still missing in action from the Korean War. Each leader brings their own unique lesson. Senior Airman Taylor West takes us to an event where one leader's lessons are celebrated.
General Curtis M. Scaparrotti celebrates his change of command after 2 years of service on the Korean Peninsula.
Change is difficult for any organization, but change is a common thread through these past several years.
General Scaparrotti will be relinquishing command to General Vincent K. Brooks. General Brooks and his wife, Dr. Carol Brooks, participate in the traditional changing of command ceremony on Knight Field at United States Army Garrison, Yongsan.
It is my great honor to stand before you as the successor to a great lineage of commanders who defeated external threats, set an example of a committed alliance, preserved an armistice, and secured a course of peaceful development and progress for nearly 7 decades.
Senior Airman Taylor West, Yongsan, Korea.
General Scaparrotti is moving on to become the next NATO Supreme Allied Commander. Most military personnel are trained to understand the importance of not being a target. Soldiers at USAG Humphreys spend the day learning how to be more than just alert.
Sexual harassment, assault response, and prevention programs are dedicated not only towards education, but also showing individuals how to be vigilant and safe.
And then create space from your attacker.
We're creating in them a harder target. We're making them more vigilant, more aware, and it's not just for April only. We're trying to create this and keep it going for the entire time because no one deserves to be attacked. No one asked to be attacked.
And actively being vigilant and safe is more than just knowing how to defend oneself.
A lot of people don't understand their limits or what they're even capable of. So teaching them these techniques today really let them know that if they're in this situation, that there's a way out.
Technical Sergeant Juaacklyn, Denny, U.S. Army Garrison, Humphreys, Korea.
Sexual harassment, assault, response, and prevention advocates dedicate their time to help ensure local military communities know what resources are available to them. The word green has more than one meaning. Senior Airman Taylor West takes us to a city that is bringing the term going green to a whole new level.
Within the Incheon Free Economic Zone lies a city aiming to become the greenest city in the world. Songdo is, in its own way, an oasis. Just outside the 4th largest city in the world, Songdo offers its residents and visitors a sense of peace and quiet, with slow-moving rivers, an abundant amount of flowers, and even areas to stop and admire animals. Songdo has over 40 acres of land set aside just for green space, as well as over 20 miles of bike paths for residents to get across the city. Although they are still building, walking through the parks and smelling the flowers is a true testament to the direction that the city has gone and where it is going to be. Senior Airman Taylor West, Songdo, Korea.
Songdo is only the 2nd city in the world that meets the leadership in energy and environmental design requirements. Do you know what sexual assault really looks like? A group of airmen at Kunsan Air Base are showing their audience how to stop sexual assault by first identifying it. Senior Airman Cat Thompson has the story.
Did I want this? The Wolfpack Theater Group at Kunsan Air Base brings sexual assault to their audience in the form of skits and reenactments. Their mission is to educate and entertain, and the director of the group tells us why.
It provides a lot of interactive training. So they're not sitting behind a computer clicking all day. It's an actual where they can see it live. And we actually want to push that button to actually make people cringe when they watch our scenes and take it back and actually learn something from this.
The message they want their audience to learn is know your part and do your part in ending sexual assault in today's military. It can be hard to watch, but that's the point.
The serious issue is this stuff actually does happen. It should be on everybody's radar, not just commanders. It should be on everybody's radar, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
The Wolfpack Theater Group also covers issues such as suicide and domestic violence. I'm Senior Airman Cat Thompson, reporting from Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
The Wolfpack Theater Group teamed up with the Sexual Assault Response Coordinator Team to bring this performance to Kunsan members for Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. What do you get when you combine U.S. Army ceremony with a Korean twist? Army Sergeant Patrick Ferraris shows you.
The 2016 2nd Infantry Division Rock U.S.
Speakers,
Combined Division.
a crowd, and even some music. Those are key ingredients to any Army ceremony. But this is Korea, and this is not your ordinary Army ceremony. Warrior Friendship Week closes with an extravagant ceremony that includes demonstrations from the Korean Special Forces, a Taekwondo team, and a Korean drill team. The ceremony closes out a week of sports competitions and cultural events that highlight a 66-year bond between soldiers and Katusas serving in Korea. After the demonstrations, trophies are awarded to teams for their accomplishments during the sports competitions. A ceremony like this not only commemorates a great week of friendship, but also acts as a strengthening device between two nations. Reporting from Camp Casey, South Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Patrick Ferraris.
Warrior Friendship Week is an event that goes on across the Korean Peninsula and strengthens the alliance. Crew chiefs battle it out in a weapons loading competition at Kunsan Air Base. Staff Sergeant Joseph Park introduces us to one airman who tells us what's really at stake in a competition like this.
The 8th Fighter Wing's load crew of the quarter competition brought together 3 maintenance teams, all of whom had the same goal.
Load the bomb efficiently, safely, and reliably, and ensure that the pilot has a good munition to drop wherever he needs to drop it at, and have the jets ready to go at any time, day or night.
The competition focused on making sure that the munitions were loaded correctly, following the technical orders, and with as few mistakes as possible.
It really isn't about time. It's more about getting it up right. Time is more bragging rights, that's all it is. And in the weapons career field, bragging rights go a long way.
The 8th Maintenance Squadron Dragons won the competition, achieving their goal for the 3rd quarter in a row. Staff Sergeant Joseph Park, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Weapons loading competitions are held every quarter to test the skills of loading crews under pressure. That was your Around the Peninsula for this week. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening. Fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes are all symptoms caused by the Zika virus disease.
The Zika virus is contracted by those who are exposed to the mosquitoes that contain the Zika virus. These mosquitoes are found mostly in the tropical regions. Brazil is the area that we see it mostly, but we also see it in Central America and northern part of South America. There's also areas in the Pacific that have the Zika virus. So if you're stung by a mosquito that contains the Zika virus, then there's a good chance you may contract the disease.
The disease may not have serious consequences for adults, but it may be fatal for unborn babies. If a pregnant woman is bit by a mosquito carrying the Zika virus, it can be passed on to the fetus and possibly lead to birth defects such as microcephaly, which is where the baby is born with a small head and brain defects. The best way to prevent the infection is by not getting bit by mosquitoes. When outdoors, use insect repellents, wear long sleeves, and soldiers who are in the field should wear specially treated uniforms. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Seoul, Korea.